What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update, your fourth stimulus check update, and related news. Millions of more people are expected to continue getting their $1,400 stimulus checks via direct deposit even today and tomorrow and continuing on. Let our viewers know if you got your $1,400 stimulus checks today or within the last 24 hours via direct deposit down below in the comments. This way you can help out our viewers. Let us know what bank you're with and if you got it or if it's pending or when you received it. Don't put any financial information like your bank account number or anything along those lines. And be careful. There's a lot of scams going on right now, not only in YouTube comments, people trying to impersonate me, but also all across just literally the phone lines and everything. People are trying to do scams on not only the $1,400 stimulus checks, but also the tax refund. So it's kind of double season for that. The IRS will not call you and ask you for your bank account information or anything along those lines. So please just keep that in mind. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on updates on the third stimulus check package, the fourth stimulus check package coming up, and all the other things we cover on this channel: mortgage assistance, rental assistance, property tax assistance, utility assistance, the $10,000 of student loan forgiveness, and the $200 per month Social Security increase, both of which President Biden wants, and the upcoming stimulus check package, which dozens of Democrats are already pushing for not just one stimulus check in that package, but multiple monthly reoccurring stimulus checks in that package. So I'm going to give you the latest details. Don't forget to hit the like button and let's jump right in. Dr. Fauci says that the CDC is likely to shorten their social distance guidelines for school children in schools. The CDC, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, will probably update its social distance guidance for schools, reducing recommendations from 6 feet down to 3 feet, Dr. Anthony Fauci said today. Quote, I think that likely will happen. Dr. Fauci is the director of the National Institute for Allergy and Infectious Disease. He mentioned a recent study in Massachusetts which found that 3 feet of separation in schools combined with consistent mask wearing is just as safe as 6 feet. Quote, so the CDC is analyzing the data very carefully right now. They very well may change. I don't want to get ahead of them, but they are very much on top of this and looking at the data, so they will reconsider about that distance. President Biden, in a surprising statement to me, says he's telling migrants that are coming across the Mexico border illegally not to come to the U.S. and not to leave your town. This comes as, well, President Biden, his immigration policies and Democrat immigration policies in general are much more lenient and more immigration friendly to people that are crossing the border illegally, at least in most people's opinion, than the previous administration. And well, it was a surprise to me to actually see President Biden say this. Here we go.
President Biden answering questions tonight for the first time about the growing problem at the southern border.
Migrants coming in saying they're coming in because you promised to make things better. It seems to be getting worse by the day. Was it a mistake not to anticipate this surge?
Well, first of all, there was a surge the last 2 years, in 19 and 20, there was a surge as well.
This one might be worse.
No, well, it could be, but here's the deal. We're sending back people to, first of all, the idea that Joe Biden said come, because I heard the other day that they're coming because they know I'm a nice guy and I won't do what Trump did.
They're saying this.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. They're not.
Do you have to say quite clearly, don't come?
Yes, I can say quite clearly, don't come. And what we're in the process of getting set up, don't leave your town or city or community.
All right, this coming as the Secretary of Homeland Security warns today, quote, we are on pace to encounter more individuals on the southwest border than we have in the last 20 years. We are encountering 6- and 7-year-old children arriving at our border without an adult. And we're learning tonight from case managers, attorneys, and Border Patrol agents that some kids haven't seen sunlight in days. Others are taking turns showering, often going days without them. CNN has told some children are in jail-like facilities as the administration scrambles to find appropriate housing. As of tonight, there are now 4,200 children in custody, which dwarfs the number at the peak of the 2019 border crisis. Now, officials say an increase of children at the border was expected, but a surge of the current magnitude was not. And let's just be honest. They were not ready for this. President Biden himself has not yet visited the border and as of yet has no plans to do so.
President, plans to travel to the southern border, sir? Not at the moment.
But right now, even some members of the president's own party want to see action.
The message can't be that if you get to our southern border and get across, we're going to process you and release you into our communities. The federal government needs to certainly do more.
It has to be a strong message because, without due respect, the administration's message is not coming through. That's the reality of it.
Well, the problem is, despite Biden's message tonight, that he just said, you saw him to George Stephanopoulos, don't come, don't leave your town or village, don't leave your community. The reality is that the message that has been coming through for months is a very different one. It's this one.
We're going to work to undo the moral and national shame of the previous administration that literally, not figuratively, ripped children from the arms of their families, their mothers and fathers at the border.
Now, that was coming from CNN, who is a Democratic-leaning station. You know, they're typically on Democratic President Joe Biden's side. But this immigration crisis at the border is becoming a very big deal. As you've seen there, this is the most people trying to come over the border illegally in the last 20 years. And it's only increasing literally by the day. As President Biden, most people consider his immigration policy much more lenient to people trying to come over the border. And well, it seems that people are taking advantage of that and literally coming over or trying to come over in record numbers. So we'll have to see what happens with this. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. On stimulus, you know how there's different buckets of money from the third stimulus check package and the second stimulus check package. One of those buckets of money from the third stimulus check package, we've seen this before in the first package, is the money that goes to states and cities. We've seen this because a lot of these states and cities, they give money back to you guys in the form of state stimulus checks, extra unemployment stimulus checks, extra mortgage and rental assistance. We just seen a brand new program for $350 million from New Jersey for mortgage and rental assistance. I covered that in the previous video right before this. You can go watch that. And we just seen California pass a $600 state stimulus check to low-income Californians, and Maryland pass a $300 to $500 stimulus check for Marylanders. And well, there's going to be even more of this coming. All 50 states are getting billions of dollars from the third stimulus check package, $350 billion to be exact. It goes to all the states, and from there, they give the money, or a portion of the money they give to you. The rest of the money they spend on, upkeep and paying for people that work for the city and stuff like that. But there's a new provision in this bill that passed already that says they have to spend more of this money on you guys in the form of programs like mortgage assistance, rental assistance, property tax assistance, utility assistance, and stimulus checks on the state and local county level. Well, it seems like some people are unhappy with a portion of that bill and that money going to the states and cities. Let me show you. And that is, there is 21 Republican attorney generals from mostly Republican states threatening to sue and actually starting lawsuits against the Biden administration for the $350 billion going to states and cities. Republican officials are asking the Biden administration to clarify a $350 billion program to help cities, counties, and states in financial need. And that is because it prevents the states from being able to lower their taxes in a certain way. As you can see here, 21 Republican state attorney generals on Tuesday threatened to take action against the Biden administration over the new $1.9 trillion stimulus law, decrying it for imposing, quote, unprecedented and unconstitutional limits on their state's ability to lower taxes. The letter marks one of the first major political and legal salvos against the relief package since President Biden signed it into law last week, evincing the sustained Republican opposition that the White House faces as it implements their signature elements of the president's agenda. The attorney generals from 21 different states take issue with $350 billion pot of money set aside for the stimulus plan from the American Rescue Plan. Congressional lawmakers opted to restrict states from tapping into these federal stimulus dollars to finance local tax cuts, which would reduce taxes for their citizens. Lawmakers included this provision to ensure Washington isn't footing the bill on behalf of states that later take deliberate steps to reduce their revenue via tax reductions. But the guardrails frustrated many Republican leaders who said in a letter to the Treasury Department that the law's vague wording threatens to interfere with states in good financial standing that sought to provide, quote, such tax relief with or without the prospect of this new stimulus money. The attorney generals from 21 different states called on the Biden administration to make it clear that they can proceed with some of their plans to cut taxes, including those that predate the stimulus package, in a 7-page letter sent to Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen on Tuesday. Otherwise, they said the relief would represent the greatest invasion of state sovereignty by Congress in the history of our republic, and they threatened to take appropriate additional action in response. In fact, the Ohio Attorney General did actually file a lawsuit today over this provision in the third stimulus check package. So it'll be interesting to see if this delays the state stimulus checks and county stimulus checks, mortgage assistance, rental assistance that we're expected to see from this $350 billion. Remember, we're already seeing 21 states say that they have enough money that they actually want to reduce taxes, which is really another form of stimulus. It's more money in your pocket if you have to pay less state, less county, less city taxes. So that's a good thing. Less taxes equal more money in your pocket, but these states are potentially going to sue and already are suing the Biden administration over the wording of this. But the problem is it's already law, but they could go and change it through another standalone bill. So it'll be interesting to see what happens and how quickly they're able to get out this additional money to you guys in the form of stimulus checks and state and county programs. I'll keep you up to date as we see more of those. Remember, in the last video, I covered New Jersey just had a $350 million stimulus plan. So you can check that out to see, even if you're from New Jersey or not, to see what these stimulus programs will be like when they come to your state and county. Millions of people are still receiving their stimulus check, the $1,400 for children, and $1,400 for adult dependents at this point. It seems like the vast majority, I would say like 99% of people that are on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and veterans benefits did not receive their $1,400 stimulus check, which in my opinion is a shame. These are the people that probably need it the most. So let me just go through the top reasons why you may have not received your stimulus check. Number one, the IRS is sending out the stimulus check in batches, and this is the same way as it was before. And it looks like, unfortunately, the batch for people on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, that batch has just not been sent out. People with Direct Express cards have not been sent out yet. Paper checks, literally a physical check in the mail, has not been sent out either yet. I'll keep you up to date on both of these in upcoming videos. Number two, your bank may be holding the money. This is the pending debacle that we've seen in millions of people's bank accounts, with many banks receiving criticism for this as they receive interest and overdraft fees in the form of millions of dollars every single day that they hold your money. It does look like a lot of these banks have now released the money and it's no longer pending and in your bank account if you had that happening, if you were pending over the last few days. Let me know down below if you are still pending or not pending anymore with your $1,400. This will help out our viewers as well. Number three, you moved or changed your bank account. If you recently moved or changed your bank account and the latest information the IRS has from you is your most recent tax return, that could be 2019 or 2020, what will likely happen is they're going to send a direct deposit to your bank. The bank's going to say it's closed. It's going to bounce back. then the IRS is going to have to send you a paper check or a debit card in the mail. This is one of the main reasons. There's other reasons too, that even if you're on direct deposit, you could get a stimulus check or a debit card in the mail. So even if you're on direct deposit or family members as well, please be on the lookout for letters that are just plain white letters with a blue Treasury seal that says Department of Treasury. That will be your stimulus check or a debit card stimulus check in the mail. Even if you're on direct deposit, you can get them in the mail. So just be aware of that, because hundreds of thousands of people have thrown these away from the previous 2 stimulus checks. So please don't throw away your stimulus check. Number 4, the money has been siphoned off by a debt collector. I talked about this in the last video and the last couple videos. Congress and well, mainly the Democrats have introduced a new bill to try to prevent private debt collectors from taking your $1,400. The government can't take it, and it can't be taken for child support, which is a government agency this time around. But private debt collectors can take it at this point. They're trying to quickly pass a bill. They did this actually for the first stimulus check, and it got bipartisan support from Republicans and Democrats, to prevent debt collectors from taking your stimulus check. They're going to try to pass one here very shortly, possibly within the next 24 to 48 hours, if we're lucky, to prevent stimulus checks from being taken from debt collectors. I'll keep you up to date on that as well. Number 5, you're getting a paper check or a debit card in the mail. Those have not been printed out yet and have not been sent out yet. I'll keep you up to date on those. Number 6, you haven't filed your taxes for the last 2 years. And if you haven't done that, you likely didn't get the last stimulus checks. If you're a non-filer, meaning most likely your income is below the income thresholds and you don't have to file a tax return, if you got the previous stimulus check, you probably filled out the IRS non-filer tool. So if you filled that out in the past, then you will be getting this 3rd stimulus check. So I don't believe the non-filer tool is open, but the IRS Get My Payment tool is open. So you can just go to Google and type in IRS Get My Payment tool and check on the status of your payment. You only need to check it about once in the morning. They update it overnight. You don't need to refresh it every hour, because typically there won't be any new information. It updates overnight. So, and I have seen people say that they got their account locked for checking it too many times throughout the day. So just check it once in the morning. And last but not least, you don't qualify for a stimulus check anymore. The main reason to do this is if you're over $80,000 for an individual, or $160,000 for a couple, or $112,500 is the starting point for a single filer head of household for your income limits. So as long as you have a social security number and you earn below those income limits of $75,000 to $80,000 for an individual, double that for a couple, $112,500 for a single filer head of household, and you have a social security number, you will be getting a $1,400 stimulus check and $1,400 for your dependents and child dependents. I'll keep you up to date on all this stuff, as well as the next stimulus package coming out called the Build Back Better package, which has already been announced, and we already have dozens of Democratic lawmakers pushing for not just one stimulus check, but monthly stimulus checks in there as well. We're also expecting more guidance from the IRS on the $10,200 of unemployment income that will not be taxable for last year. The IRS says do not file an amended tax return at this point. We will be receiving more guidance from them. We're also going to be receiving more guidance from them on the $3,000 to $3,600 child income tax credits, or the monthly child stimulus checks that are going to be paid $250 to $300 per month per child, likely starting in July. I'll keep you up to date on that, and when we get more guidance on how to file for that, they're likely going to be setting up a portal where you'll have to log in and claim that money or give them information. So I'll keep you up to date on everything stimulus related. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so. After subscribing, click the bell icon to get notifications. Click it to all notifications, so you get notifications when we go live with new videos, which is every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., 8 p.m., and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. Amazon has a program similar to eBay where you can sell products on Amazon and they do all the shipping for you. And I teach people how to do that and replace their 9-to-5 income. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.